W.T.F. Nation Radio
is in the house.
I'm sorry that I can't keep it together. Maybe it's the trauma, or maybe it's the drugs. I can't seem to control my fucking temper. But the problem lies in not being enough. I lost my sense of humor in the battle for my mind. Now I'll slip away with one last puff this time. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my mind. Substance suicide, only time with no regrets is letting myself die. Forgive me for the outburst with your neighbors. My actions don't reflect what's in my soul. Never found the right way to relate or take in and display a better role. The chemicals that shape me are buried deep this time. My family's already given up, it's fine. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my mind. Substance suicide, the only time with no regrets, letting myself die. Substance suicide, assisted by my fickle friend. I'll finally lose my life. The substance suicide, the only time with no regrets is letting myself die. Is letting myself die.
There are many simple things in the world. Shovels. They are all different. Gardening shovel. Unloading shovel. Children's shovel. But there is also a different shovel. We use it when we come to the position. In short time, it helps us dig a trench which saves us from bullets. If a tank will pass over the trench, there is a high probability that it will not cause any harm to the soldier. We dig in the ground, deeper, and then connect the trenches with our friends to the left. In just a few hours, trenches are all connected. When we do not have an axe, we can use a shovel to cut a loaf of bread. A soldier uses a shovel as a paddle, crossing the wide river under enemy fire. If we run out of ammunition, we will use a shovel again, and then we'll move on. And when we get the order to stop, we'll take a shovel again and build around us an impregnable fortress. This fortress is defended by the army of Ukraine, our army.
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I looked my woman in the eye sockets. I told her straight out. I just said it, man. I said it. I said, bitch, I'm the man of the house.
You said bitch, though. You called your wife a bitch.
Yeah.
This is a public service announcement from C.T. Fletcher. I will not contribute to the pussification of a nation. Get your punk ass out there and work for it, motherfucker.
Let's roll.
Broadcasting live from the Functional Veterans Center of Excellence. Getting all that free money, I was told. I was hearing singing in the streets. Right, Matt Walsh? What is going on, guys and gals? Welcome to the Monday edition on this Martin Luther King Day. Lord have mercy. What is going on? Shit's heating up. Tensions are mounting. What do we do? What's happening? Weekend's been pretty busy. Protests and protests about ICE and people arguing. What's the role of ICE and CBP and DHS and all that? I said this last week, I think, when I said that the reason why people don't take ICE seriously is because we've dealt with the fucking guys at the TSA underneath the same umbrella. I mean, maybe if we let them, give the TSA some of the same powers. But yeah, speaking of powers, everyone's talking about what powers ICE has and what they don't have. And I'm like, y'all need to get like in the books and y'all need to find out what exactly, because a lot of you guys online, I mean, unfortunately, there are too many assholes to deal with to engage. There's so much engagement with the assholes online on saying what ICE is or what ICE is doing and why is ICE is doing and blah, 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 blah. And the people that are defending, people that are against. I know a lot of people that are against ICE is because they think that everybody who is illegal is picking their lettuce or cleaning their fucking, cleaning their bathrooms or cleaning up their hotels. I just watching individuals get divided more and more just because you say you support and all that. Seeing people going into like heated fucking arguments online. It is kind of fucking, ice is a frozen liquid, commonly water. That's a frozen, you mean, once it's frozen, is it solid? It becomes ice, right? Then it's a solid, right, PIQ? But man, people trying to make comparisons to what happened. I mean, you guys didn't know what happened over the weekend is that some protesters protesting against ICE and all that went into a church and started protesting. Like, holy shit. Never seen that shit before. And of course, everyone's talking about this. Oh, well, you make the comparisons and immediately everyone likes to say that protesting in a church, going into a church to protest and then they're like throwing the January 6th comparisons and all that. Now, I got a lot of shit for January 6th. Only because actually, two things about January 6th. Motherfucker saying that I was part of the fucking whole big mix and I was the Grand Admiral of comms and sector. How did a fly get in here? Holy shit. Yeah, the whole Gold Corp thing. Yeah, exactly. On January 6th. Well, then, I don't think anybody realized the other post that I made about how the Capitol Police should have stacked bodies. So when people make the comparison with January 6th with me, I'm like, my position was, let's go back to the January, since it's January anyways. The January 6th stuff is like, should have stacked bodies. But then as we look into it, the further we look away from the event, there were people inside the crowd. Feds, informants. So I guess it would have been bad if we stacked bodies on January 6th, because then the cops would have been kind of like killing themselves, right? They'd be killing each other. So when people say, oh, hey, yeah, going into a church is just like January. No, I really think that you're really playing with fucking fire when you go into a church to protest, to do an ICE protest. And I just gonna say it is evil as fuck to place that agenda, to even the fact that we're at that point where we're going to go into a church and protest during worship services. Now, of course, the people that went inside the church during the protests said because one of the lead pastors was an ICE agent. And that's why. That was the reason they gave. One of those protesters was Don Lemon. The CNN Don Lemon. You know, the guy who's crying about everything and everything's everybody else's fault, but whatever. I'm just kind of, wow. Do you guys know how many members of clergy or members who are senior leaders of a church, especially around military installations or larger cities, how many agents are of, the DEA, the FBI, ICE, custom? I mean, all the gamut of law enforcement that hold positions inside of a church. And just because you hate that agency, now you decide to throw that shit out. Just because you hate it right now. So if everyone hated the FBI, then it's okay to do it in a church if you find out that the one agent of the FBI was a pastor or DEA agent. We're treading on some dangerous territory here. Because now, just like you have the wackos on the left, you're going to have someone on the right saying, well, fuck it. I guess I get to go to a synagogue. I guess I get to go to a mosque to protest, whatever. And people always say it's a dangerous line to cross. And I've not seen anybody doing anything. I mean, most of the guys, if you've heard that had protested that church, you're not seeing any perp walks. You're not seeing so many people getting arrested. You're not seeing a lot of people that are 100%, yeah, we have statements and tweets. That's about it. We don't have anything else. One of the ones was this guy named William Kelly, the veteran, because he tells you he is. He's a fucking veteran. This is the and I'm gonna here he is that he screamed. I'm gonna window cap this so you guys can hear this shit. And this guy, man, unhinged. Now, mind you, this is in a church during church services. This is, this wasn't a, fucking, church luncheon or something. This is during services. This guy is streaming himself, screaming at the members of the congregation.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians, all these comfortable white people who are living lavish, comfortable lives while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're living real life, nice lives with your lattes, doing absolutely nothing for your Latino and Somali brothers and sisters. You come here to a man wearing a suit. Is a preacher? Did Jesus wear a suit? Did Jesus profit off the words? No! Jesus would dine with immigrants. Do not touch me. Touch me again and see what happens.
Hey, you can't.
You are a fake Christian. Why are you not standing with your Somali and Latino communities? Why do I not see you out at Whipple every day protesting this attack on humanity? Where are you? You're sinners. You're pretending to be Christians. But we know you live an easy life, don't you? A very easy life while people are starving. Shame. Out now. Out now.
Now, those are the rest of the protesters that showed up. That way you can, I'm gonna mute them so that way I can talk. And they freaking...
People starve. living real comfortable while children are dragged into concentration camps. You're all living real comfortable, aren't you? Shame on you. Do something. Stand with the Somalis. Stand with the Latinos. Quit ignoring this injustice. He wears a suit and tie, and he hangs out with Kristi Noem. How is that a Christian? You're supposed to accept all immigrants, are you not? Why are you not going down to Whipple and joining us in protest against this inhumanity? You claim to be a Christian, act like one.
Woo! Holy shit! Now, I'm... Where? What's up, Corey? I'm gonna say, where are the cops? And nothing against the dudes in the congregation. You know, the reason why people stand usually with mouth agape going, what the fuck? Because no one expects to have a protest happening in church. Nobody expects this type of shit. So I'm probably saying, you know, that young kid that said, and then that guy, you touch me, and I'll see what happens. I'm like, what? Why the fuck? Again, probably because no one expected that to happen. But holy shit. That dude, man.
As you can see, all these pretend Christians.
And he's been going online on Twitter, fucking talking shit about come get me and all this stuff. Which brings a good question. Why isn't anybody getting him? I mean, that's like some serious freaking... The audacity. Everyone's talking about it right now, except for, I mean, of course, everyone's doing their freaking standard statements. We will not do this and all blah. We will not have anybody, we will not tolerate this. We will not tolerate that. And because of this and because of that, we will not blah, 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 blah. Hey, you can tweet and post all you want, but I think due to the fact that, nobody's seeing anything from government, I'm just telling you, I would rather see something from the government happen, arrests and arraignments and perp walks and mugshots, because people watching that are seeing nothing happening will more than likely take shit into their own hands. To the point to where, like, yeah, everyone's like saying, everyone's saying that dude should get his ass beat. I mean, to say the least. A lot of individuals are saying that now churches, places of worship are now going to upgrade their security for this type of stuff to happen. So there was somebody that kind of came at me and like, what are you, I said, the line's been crossed. And the person said, and then showed me a video of January 6th. They don't know who I am. So, I mean, like I said, Capitol Police stacking bodies on the steps of the fucking Capitol, but then coming to find out that they were more likely would have stacked bodies who probably were there in the agencies themselves that they served with. That whole narrative got shut the fuck down. So, do you want me to use that mentality then? I'm pretty sure a lot of Americans right now wouldn't mind seeing individuals getting stacked at the steps of a church, because they try to go in there just because they found out the guy, the lead pastor, was an ICE agent or worked for ICE. And of course, everybody's like, freaking out, rah, rah, rah. I don't even want to fucking, I don't even, how do I say this? The rationale is at this point is gone. The talk, the discussion, reaching across the aisle. We've now gotten to the point where now we're protesting in churches, or we are interrupting church services, busting in. Warmreal says, I live in St. Paul where the church protest was and used to live 2 blocks away from it and go to the bakery next door. The Minnesota ICE field director is also a pastor. These clowns should never got in there live streaming. Others would have been outside protesting on the street. Give them the attention It gives them what they want. I went to Whipple the other day. The attention was given to the noisemakers, not the difference makers. A day before, a January 6er got beat up, live streaming a Quran burning in Minneapolis City Hall. Well, I mean, that's just, you know. If you're going to go in there by yourself to pull some shit, that more than likely in an area that's going to get your ass beat. They should all face a fine. Nah, I think they should be thrown in jail. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, why didn't anybody beat that ass? Exactly that. Why didn't anybody beat that ass? Again, people do not I mean, that's the reason why when crimes happen in cities, heinous crimes that people don't know how to act or have never dealt with serious crimes before, people it's almost like a shock. It's almost like, what the fuck? No way, somebody just walked into the church and people were screaming. And I'm going to tell you what, there's some people who really held their composure while that asshole was going around. So, I mean, The FACE Act. Everybody knows what the FACE Act is of 1994? It's the access to clinic entrances, used against abortion protesters. So the FACE Act, 1994, intentionally injuring, intimidating, interfering with anybody who attempt to interfere with any person, force, or threat, or physical obstruction because that person has been or is ordered to intimidate any other person of class, persons of form, providing reproductive health services. The second paragraph to the FACE Act is intentionally injuring, intimidating, or interfering with, or attempting to injure or intimidate or interfere by any person by force, threat of force, or physical obstruction by exercising or seeking exercise the First Amendment right to religious freedom at a place of religious worship. Again, Don Lemon was there, walked right the fuck in, and got in the face of the pastor. Matter of fact, let me pull this up. You guys are throwing links at me. Sure. I'll post your links. How about that? Incredible. So there he is in the face of the pastor. Listen what he's got to say, man. Unfucking real. Don Lemon, you're a piece of shit. Scumbag.
I mean, this is unacceptable. It's shameful. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians in worship. So,
but there were folks who will.
I have to take care of my flock.
Okay, but listen, we live in there's a constitution in the First Amendment to freedom of speech and freedom to assemble and protest.
Yeah. We're here to worship. We're here to worship Jesus because that's the hope of these cities. That's the hope of the world is Jesus Christ.
I want to be very respectful. Please don't push me, though.
We're here to worship Jesus.
Yes.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's why we're here. Okay. That's what we're about.
Don't you think Jesus would be understanding
we're about
and love these folks?
We're about spreading the love of Jesus.
But did you try to talk to them?
Dude. Getting heated to myself. Yeah, we're talking about the guy who got trolled for an ass kicking and got it. Yes. We're talking about the guy with the beard at the beginning, Keith. And everyone's saying, yeah, dude. I mean, individuals who are not religious. I have friends who are atheists that were saying, God, dude, this is fuck. What the fuck are you doing? But Don Lemon stepping in, blah, 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 getting the guy's face. Whoa. Do that shit in Texas. I mean, as a matter of fact, now, just do that shit now. I think everyone's now, after we're reeling back from the shock of it all, what the fuck is wrong with you, Don Lemon? Now, I think he's also broadcasting, going on podcasts already. Well, it was freedom of speech. Now do this. Bruh. Pastor's trying to say this is unacceptable. It's shameful to interrupt a public gathering of Christians worship. And then he just cuts him off. Listen, there's a constitution. Thought it said peaceably assembly anyways. Blah, blah, blah. Look, a lot of you guys that are out there are not going to agree at all. I'm not going to agree with you. A lot of people are not going to agree with each other on what ICE is doing. Fair enough. You can throw your political shit back and forth. I've always said veterans before refugees and illegal immigration first, but we can multitask. It's fine. We're not going to agree with it. But I draw the line when it comes to a church, to a place of worship. And everybody knows you're not supposed to fucking do that shit. Because now it's just going to open up the door. You're going to cross the fucking line. And to that person that commented, what about January 6th? Fuck you. I already said that. I hope I don't get this, fucking, I don't care if I get all the channels closed off. Probably will. Somebody will probably mass complain. I did make my example about January 6th, and I said it. I'll say it again. They should have been fucking stacking bodies on the fucking steps, but then again, like I said, we ended up finding out that a lot of them everyone was intermixed, so it would have been fresher side or friendly fire. So if you want to go that route with the individuals that are protesting on a church, if you want me to think the way I'm thinking about it, you want to stack bodies outside of a church, I don't think we want to go that route. But I guarantee it, what Don Lemon has done is inflamed the American social media sphere and the public at large. Kind of funny. You're not really seeing this on mainstream media. You're not seeing that. Has anybody seen this on Fox? Well, I don't know if you've seen it on Fox. Fox will amplify everything. CNN, CBS, MSNBC, Reuters, AP. Again, the FACE Act of 1994 is what I keep, when somebody asked me about what was I referencing. Paragraph 2, intentionally injuring, intimidating, or interfering with, or attempting to injure, intimidate, or interfere any person by force, threat of force, or physical obstruction, exercising and seeking to exercise the First Amendment right of religious freedom at a place of religious law. Hey, just because you don't like the guy that's there, or you don't like who he is, does not nullify what it is. You don't get to decide, Don Lemon, and all you little fucking cronies that were there with you. You don't get to decide. Vaya con Dios. That's all I'm going to say. Everyone says, are there more videos? Yes, there's more videos. All you got to do is just look for the church protest. Is just, Let's not forget when ICE was grabbing people at church as well. When you let someone emotions high, that's another thing too. Was there? Were they leaving church? Were they outside in the front? Were they, again, don't forget, everyone's saying, well, this happened. I'm just telling you what I've seen right now. And by the way, I support ICE as a first generation Latino. Well, that depends, because sometimes when it comes to stats and statistics for crimes, I'm white. But when it comes to grievance and I want your money and feel sorry for minorities, then I'm Mexican again. So I got two cards to carry. I got the white privilege card that the left has given me because they deem me as white when I don't support their ways, or I have my brown card. When it comes to, and I got my Aztec headdress in the closet there. I might as well just pull it out sometimes and wear it to see which one I'm going to get. A lot of the stuff that's also been seen is debunked. Former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura interview last week said a day after ICE came into Roosevelt High School, dismissal and shot tear gas at students throwing snowballs is a fun watch. He looks like SEAL Team Santa. Again, we're not going to come to common ground. We're not going to come to ground. But I draw the fucking line at a church, and actually, it's the law on the church as well. Because then what's going to happen is then again, exactly that, Keith. All he did was light the Charlie Kirk people up some more. Oh yeah, exactly. I think if you'd been protesting outside, like if you've been across the street with some signs and yelling and screaming and megaphones and all this other stuff, and then coming back outside and seeing everybody, and then that'd have been, I don't think that'd have been an issue across the street from a church. Nah, not inside. I don't care. You're not going to change my mind. I'm going to tell you what, in situations like this, they create moments that people are going to remember. And this one right here is one of them. Well, they shouldn't of. See, that's the thing too. Well, they shouldn't of, and they shouldn't this, and they shouldn't of. Nah, we're gonna tit for tat this now so bad. Well, again, with no compromise, we're gonna tit for tat this so bad that when that first round goes off, that's it. That's it. And it's not. I have a feeling it's not gonna be from fucking. No, I'm not talking about fucking the chick that fucking hit the ice guy. No, I'm talking about the other one. I'm talking about the other side. I'm talking about that dude that's screaming around going to beer saying, I'm a combat infantryman vet. Yeah, he said the same. He even used that line. I'm a combat vet. Autistic screaming. Yeah. He's been online talking shit, calling Pam Bondi all these fucking names and shit. So, just gonna say, it's gonna spark, and it's not gonna spark the way we think it is. It's gonna be a fucking pew. All them protesters want to do a citizen swap. If you want to mess with the white Christian nationalists, you go after the wallets and not the churches. What are you saying there, Keith? All Christian nationalists? No. Because then I could say all Muslim nationalists, Buddhist, Muslim, Jewish. That doesn't make sense. Why is it that Christianity is always under attack? Why? Why is it the Christianity? Why is it the fact that the United States cannot seek its own interest when it comes to something like that? A lot of countries that like to say they come here, let them stay because they're escaping whatever fucking country drama that they had. So then why do we have fucking open borders for those same assholes that were chasing the refugees back in our country? Corey says, I'm learning to code, so all these protesters may be sent to the wrong place. I don't. It's going to get to a point where they're going to open fire. They will. Every time you see them interviewed, every time you see them talk, they're smug. They have this. Well, I mean, I guess we're just going to do that, and they do the finger pinch and all that, all of it. Tell them what they're going to do to fucking ICE, what you do to fucking ICE, and not do to ICE, and all this other stuff. Oh, the protesters have an issue with the pastor who works for ICE. That's it. That was it. That was the only reason. So we find out somebody who is clergy of another religion in another place of worship, and say, hey, we don't like you because you're part of this organization, and then start going into that place of worship. That'd be wrong too. Even, yeah, exactly. Didn't he say, yep, yeah, Don Lemon did go on another podcast and says that they're entitled. They're white supremacists. If you looked at the audience when the guy was screaming and shit like that, they were pretty mixed already. So, yeah. I'm just to the point to where now social media is starting to crash with Nicki Minaj getting involved, calling him names. Again, we're not going to get no one is going to no one is going to agree on anything that is going on with this administration, no matter what. I will say that. I mean, no one will. Just because the name is attached to Trump, that's it. Hell, it could have been fucking Romney, and it would have been a different. But because it's Trump and it's everybody that they fucking hate, even though it was everybody that was fucking cupping his nuts back in the day. Just because it's Trump, that's it. No one's going to agree with that. No, nobody. As a matter of fact, Trump 2.0's in this administration now has divided individuals so bad. Hell, I have friends that don't even fucking talk to me anymore. Been the same. Just do it right. I have no problem with immigration. Fucking do that shit right. I have no problem with fucking, to the point to where communism and socialism slowly starting to creep in on something that's outside the normal. I mean, I'm telling you, outside social norms. We just had a fucking church busted through, stormed, and people screaming, and you had that one fucking asshole. And War Memorials. Yeah, okay, so the pastor is the ICE field director of Minnesota, not rank and file. It doesn't matter. Nicki Minaj, she's a safe dude. Nicki Minaj, I mean, yeah, it's a prize. She's supportive. You know, I will notice a lot of minority entertainers are pretty supportive about the Trump administration because they actually walk up to him and they talk to him about some issues and stuff like that, and get down and dirty in legislation and discuss the issues that is actually concerning the rest of the country. They're not screaming at him, fucking throwing or whatever and all that. They're not doing drama. Get in the weeds. I mean, to the point to where fucking, I mean, come on, Kim Kardashian fucking assisted. Nicki Minaj is assisting. What the fuck, dude? What the hell's going on Al Gore's internet in the year of 2026, where we have white people telling minorities how to act? I got to find my white privilege card somebody gave me just joking around because they said that every time I talk about it and they say I'm racist and all that stuff. Left-leaning, I'm going to tell you what. White liberal women, man. Woo! Then you wonder why white dudes go hang out with minorities and the browns and the blacks and the Latinos and the Asians. Because some of them white liberal women, y'all fucking nuts. Why can't you be centered like a hippie or something like that? You know, why can't... But yeah, I have lost fucking friends. It's mighty why. Have you? Yeah, exactly. Down and dirty legislation with Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian. Yeah. The administration is going to do socialistic, cap credit card rates, take ownership, means production, subsidy for farmers, take ownership. Every one of these guys have doing it. Now, me and Keith, we talk about the defense industry stuff because we've seen that's a lot of... The defense industry is so fucking heavy with fucking, I know a guy, hook a brother up, nepotism, fucking gatekeeping and rice bowls, whatever synergy staff name you want to have. Ice on ice. Protests I've seen are chill. Passing out tacos, coffee, hand warmers. County sheriff stands between DHS and the protesters at the main sites. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. I got no issues with that. And a lot of things that a lot of people, here's the thing, a lot of issues that people were complaining about do not even fucking affect you. Some of the big tariff shit. Hey man, what you paying for eggs? What you paying for bread? What you paying for milk? Hell, now because Trump likes milk, everybody hates milk now. Or gas, diesel, heating oil. Bro, that shit's always been, every fucking administration likes to take fucking credit for that. People online looking to see things pop off and influencer hunting for hot takes, but people are just trying to live their life. Yeah, exactly that. Oh, big time war murals. You're correct. It's funny. It's crazy to see. Like I said, you know, I had a friend get mad at me, and they didn't talk to me anymore because when we were, it was me and Massey, a couple of Monday editions back. I made a comment and I said, all right, man, I got to get going. You know, I said something. I got to go take my fascist family, my fascist kids, and go get some fascist coffee and fascist, you know, everything's fascist. I have a pretty mixed family. Blended. I'm trying to think if I have any Asians in my family, cousins or something like that. No, I think most of it's Black, Latino, white. And so, there's a lot of things, and that I was about ready to say, Keith, there's a lot of things on the top end that are being not subtly discussed that I think will help, and that will help. I mean, the dollar value, I was about to say, that was my only concern, is the value of the dollar and silver and gold. Ammo, too. anytime you guys get a discount or anytime you guys have, like $20 here or there, go buy ammo. Even if you don't, even buy ammo even for weapons that you don't have. Bartering, in case. I'm just saying. But is it going to affect some countries? I mean, come on. Again, not to say anything about my friends across the pond and my friends across the down under pond, the upside down pond. There's nothing wrong with having the interests of your country. I totally get it, but it blows me away that anytime it comes to us talking about the interests of our country, of the United States, and again, first generation American here, the American flag, the beacon of fucking hope and freedom to do what you want, freedom to say, you serve your country, and we're not perfect. Yep, got it. The VA is fucked up, but still. You ever notice that Doug Collins looks like the guy in the meme that goes, "You sure about that? Are you sure about that?" I was making that joke, friend. Vietnam has been winning with the terrible. I was about to say, a lot of our former allies that are going to Russia's. I mean, look. We got this whole Greenland shit going on, right? I think it's funny. I think it's whatever. And I think the just by talking about it, watching European countries absolutely lose their shit. I mean, losing their shit, like it's pretty much a discussion, and then it gets to like straight up, we'll kill you. Not we'll kill you, but we have this many forces that could do this. We will do this. We will do it. We'll shoot first. We'll blah, 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 blah. Just for a discussion. But then here, give me some money. Yeah, I talked about NATO and how NATO is and how, and just people just, God damn, dude. Well, first off, I will say this. As a country, we really fucked up by pulling 2 heavy divisions out of Europe. We should have stayed there. We should have just stayed there to help bolster NATO. And I don't think fucking Putin would have invaded Ukraine and taken Crimea. I don't think he would have. But then again, had we stayed, we would never know. People really get defensive when you say that because everybody was pretty fucking happy, nodding their heads. Yeah, oh yeah, this is this is great. This is great, sir. This is a great idea. We'll operationalize the CONUS base. And we pull out of Europe. 2 heavy divisions. 2. That was our big mistake. We shouldn't have done that. Because then most of it was also some of the countries asking us to leave during the drawdown. And of course, the base realignment and closure of that year. Okay. Maybe we should have had members of Congress go politic in some of those European countries that we pulled out of, like they go to other countries and politic that we don't know about. Poland, Ukraine, Estonia, all those other countries. And you guys know me. I'm a Cold War kid. Wolverines. Fuck Ivan. Kill commie for mommy. Better dead than red. Fuck Russia. Am I trying to get booted off this? I'm just doing a test right now. Why did we close? Yeah, see, that's the thing. Hang on. Musa asked why I thought Denmark was our ally, but just the mere talk. See, a lot of it too is that Europeans see things directly. There is no, I don't know. Maybe there needs to be nuance. Maybe there needs to be like a Luther translator, from Key and Peele. There needs to be like an anger translator to European countries on what he meant. Because I guarantee the president was probably fucking shit posting on some stuff, and the European mind really went 100 miles an hour on this, or 180 kilometers on this. Freaked the fuck out. Started taking shit literal. And then all their fucking citizens and all their media started shit posting, saying what they're going to do to us and blah, 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 blah. We just have NATO and blah, 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 blah. I saw a hype vid with the slowed down version of the Macarena. La Macarena. Bro, stop. Sometimes I think geopolitics should not be tweeted out. That's just me. Why did we close almost all the military bases that we had in Greenland? Yeah. Why don't we just rebuild all the bases back in Greenland? Yeah. Salvatore. Man, Salvatore, that's like an Italian name. Salvatore Pasqualeri. So again, now you say, oh, I'm glad you brought that up, PIQ. I'm glad you brought that out about Russia. Did you know we did an event with Russia way back in the day when I was stationed in Germany, back in WW Operation Desert Nom? I'm just kidding. Back when the 1st Armored Division was still in Europe, we had an event where we commemorated the U.S. and the Russians meeting in World War II. And, some of the division staff, I didn't volunteer to go. I didn't want to fucking go. Again, Cold War kid, Wolverines. I didn't want to participate in that. I did not want to volunteer or even suggest any interest of going to that event. They called it was a Torgau commemoration. And I mean, back in the day, it was we had fucking Russians going to Hohenfels. So I really just, again, politics like that, global politics, geopolitics, social politics should never be tweeted out, because then, of course, our European allies don't understand the English, don't understand the meaning. Some of them take they've taken some offense talking about taking Greenland. Hey, how much? I mean, again, and I've seen people have shown me TikToks and reels on Instagram that some people from Greenland want it, and they're being told to shut up. Why does everybody want to be like America? Can we survive in Greenland? Is it cold? See, that's the thing. It's Iceland that's green, and it's Greenland that's fucking ice and shit. Let's get out cowboy hats. Yeah, get some horses. Yeah, exactly that, Musa. So again, I have Salvatore. I have the same thing with the questions of the with all the bases. We fucked up when we pulled a lot of our forces and all that. So when someone says about NATO this and NATO that, and because of NATO this and because of NATO that, and people starts building scenarios about what NATO is going to do and NATO's with this and whatever, and look, no, we're not gonna. It's not gonna work out that way. It's not gonna work the way you think it is. Especially when you've been in countries. If you've ever lived in a country like any NATO, NATO nation state, it's always they. I don't know. It's kind of like when you say you don't like a certain MOS, but when you hang out with them, they're actually pretty cool. That's kind of like a partner state in NATO. We've done some great joint exercises and stuff like that with NATO forces, and it's just, I don't know. If you've been in Afghanistan, there's some guys and gals that have deployed with some partner allies. So again, but I was saying that if NATO were to kick us out, if NATO were to be like, screw you, we don't want you here anymore, and we go. We leave, take your football and go home type shit, right? Or, we leave NATO. And the way I see it is I look at it from, okay, if we leave NATO, we're going to go, right? We're going to take off, and just purely, and I know all my European friends are like, we're going to leave NATO? No, we're not. I'm not. I'm just saying. We would end up having to go back to the countries that Russia wants to invade, that were part of NATO, to go bail them out, to help them out, to save them. So that's why I was kind of like, yeah, all right, yeah. You could say you're going to leave NATO, but we're just going to go right fucking back there, only because of the interest that we have with other countries that are involved that they don't want to admit that they have with us. That it will just end up. I don't know. I don't want to say that. Yeah, like a bad wife. Yeah, exactly that. It's cheaper to keep her. I'm sure there are a small population that would support someone like Russia taking the U.S. Yes, some, and some are. China's already talking and schmoozing Canada. And I'm sure there are some that are going to be that wouldn't mind. But Russia doesn't give a fuck about people. They don't. Being taken care of by Russia, I look at fucking, but Ukraine. I just look at Ukraine. We're going to take, still, I mean, they're slaughtered just about every day. Putin's fucking launching missiles into fucking Kyiv or in around surrounding cities. So yeah, it's one of those things to where, but yeah, I'm just the talk about NATO and the talk about leaving NATO and all that. Everyone should just shut up because we're all going to end up fighting fucking Russia in the event if that happens. If we end up doing it, because Russia's going to be like, all right, Poland, all right, Estonia, all these other countries, and everyone's going to say, Russia's going to help us out. No. Just again, it's going to be cheaper to keep her. It's going to be like that old lady. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's going to be like that spouse. You just might as well cheaper to keep her. They could decide to take us out or vote on us because they're butthurt about Trump, or it dissolves because it's all bickering because they're all going back and forth on who's going to be in charge of what. I guarantee it. European countries want to flex on each other. Germany, Poland. They're all going to go back and forth. France. And then if that shit doesn't happen, then all of a sudden it dissolves because Poland or Germany don't like each other and they all start literally infighting with each other. And then that's when Ivan's going to go, okay, now I'm going to interfere because if Germany and Poland were to fight with each other because of their whatever, Russia's going to see that as attacking fellow Slavs. And it's just going to be a mess. Then they beg us for help because a few members of Congress will go visit those fucking countries, their favorite country, that is. And then we help, and then the cycle starts all over again. That's just, Denmark has great MREs. We leveled tariff against allies over Greenland. Immensely stupid. I want to know what that's what I'm saying. I want to see people show their work. A lot of the discussions I want to see, and I'm not biased fucking statistics. I'm just a man making my way through the universe, and I'm just like, everyone's freaking the fuck out about shit. Tariffs. Does anybody know what they mean? Tariffs. Does anybody know what the processes of all that? Is it really going on the way we say it is? We're never gonna fucking know. We're never gonna know. Hell, we're still trying to figure out what happened in the last 3 administrations with Biden, Trump 1.0, Obama. We still don't know all the fucking all of the fucking consequences that we've had of their decisions. We won't ever know either. So the tariff talk, I'm too stupid to talk about. I'll admit it. I'm fucking dumb as fuck when it comes to the tariff talk. I still scratch my head on that. And then I see, now you see it on the news. We're going to discuss, and now we're going to talk about. Now talks are happening. So I'm just saying. What else was I talking about? Oh yeah, you guys. I digress. I know you guys. It's funny. It's not funny, but it's pretty cool, I should say. But it's funny that I have individuals that are in the chats for multinational stuff like that. I talk to individuals all the time, and both on, like I said, the upside down across the pond, and then across the pond of issues, and we kind of cross notes. Hey, is this happening in the country? Is this really happening? No, I didn't see that. Oh, okay. And so. Second Amendment. What's your guys' thoughts on the Second Amendment? I'm gonna fucking piss everybody off for this one too. I'm gonna piss. Look, everyone has their opinions of the Second Amendment. But I draw the line, just like the fucking church shit, just like the church protest. Everyone. You could always have someone on the team that has studied economics. Come on. Oh, come on, dude. I'm part of it. I do have an understanding. Part of it's hyperbole as well. We had a guest that talked about tariffs as well. Now we're on the Second Amendment. I don't want to talk about economics. I'm not going to talk economics. We're talking about Second Amendment. Just like the church protests, I draw the line on where you should, go into church. Mike. Okay. I'm glad you're a believer of the First Amendment because I don't. That comment's funny, but we would not delete it. We don't delete your shit. Let's talk about the Second Amendment. There's a lot of people on protests that are now caring, and I'm now all of a sudden everyone's pissed off. Now, if you are holding a weapon and you're making a threat, then that's a different story as opposed to you just posting guard. Does that make sense? If you're like threatening with a weapon and say, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to shoot ICE, or I'm going to shoot the president, or I'm going to shoot this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this with it. Yeah, okay. You're crossing. You might be careful because I know some lines, some states have their cyber /threats / whatever. All right, but if you were carrying, and people are like pissed off, and people got mad because I said, okay, I don't care because there's a guy that's carrying a weapon, saying just there to protect his community. I'm just kind of like, okay, he's open carrying his weapon. Now, some states don't care. They don't care about open. I should say it's legal for open carry. I should say. But I don't see an issue with this. I mean, if you're there now, I did question it and say, dude, what are you you're going to protect him against who? You're going to shoot the feds? Me, I'm kind of like poking the bear on this. But in reality, what's wrong with this guy carrying it as opposed to somebody who's at a protest, for ICE carrying a weapon? The Second Amendment is the Second Amendment. The same thing with there was an image, and I couldn't find it. Hang on, let me look right quick. Okay, guys, got it. Y'all study fucking economics, and I didn't. Got it. Jesus Christ, man. Everybody should carry. But there's an individual that was sitting on a car that was holding looked like a AR pistol or something like that. Didn't have a stock or grip or whatever. I don't care about that person carrying either. He's not threatening. He wasn't pointing the weapon at anybody. He wasn't aiming it at cops. He wasn't making any comments about shooting cops or anything like that. And they're not good. That's a good. Yeah, I was about ready to say a lot of the guys that are Second Amendment and the guys that like to do their training and dry firing techniques all over the place and all that stuff. There are some that are supportive of that. They say, hey, we don't care. But then there are guys that are just, holy shit. They're losing their shit. They're losing their shit over a guy carrying a weapon. We should all have welcome that, right? Shouldn't we all welcome that? I foresee the left getting their version of Kyle Rittenhouse in the near future. That's what I was talking about, the church stuff. That's going to be after the church shit, there's going to be an escalation. I have a feeling there's going to be another escalation. Just goes to show you what kind of experience the U.S. society has with firearms in public versus other places of the world. Yeah, but I think every person wants capable, blah, blah. I do think in protests it could turn very quick and could be a match of the power. All good points in here. All of them. Meal Team 6. Yeah, exactly. Keith, are you reading my notes or some shit? The firearms community is one of the most toxic and divisive groups you can experience. You're damn right. It is. I have seen individuals that have posted about just, hey, I'm buying this firearm and I want a holster and blah, blah, blah. How do I? And I have seen individuals attack. The gun bros attack somebody who's just asking or just being introducing themselves to carrying a firearm. And I mean, holy shit. If someone wants to carry a weapon, or they're trying to find out how to get into the business of, or they decide, hey, I want to shoot, I want to be able to defend myself, I want to be able to carry, and I want to be able to do this. I don't drag the individual from fucking trying. Stop buying the PSA garbage. What is that? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. People screaming about that. Yeah. Don't buy this and don't buy that and don't buy this and because of that, or don't buy it because of this guy because this guy's a piece of shit, or don't buy it because of this guy, or don't look at this guy doing dry fires and doing dry fires. I'm like, God dang, dude, the guy's showing you the fundamentals of how to handle a weapon, and you're fucking dragging this dude for nothing. And a lot of individuals say it's like oh, these are just trolls, or this is no. Some of these guys are like, I thought that they were fucking respected. I used to respect them. They're big gun bros that just like are trashing people, just like whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about the clowning. Somebody, hey, carrying like that, what was that on Men in Black, carrying the cricket, that little thing. Everyone's kind of clowning on Will Smith for carrying that, right? Hey, nothing wrong. Breaking balls, I don't care. But I have seen straight just attacks on people for just, hey man, I just want to carry a pistol. Now we all can drag on different types of weapons and all that and make fun and poking fun, but man, it is seeing people get mad over that dude carrying that rifle. Like, dude, who you gonna shoot? You gonna shoot the feds? I mean, when you say that, are you gonna do that to take up arms against the cops? What? It's a powder keg, yes. It looks like that to me sometimes. It's almost like I'll say both sides of the both sides of the political leanings there when they're carrying weapons. It almost looks like they're going to entice somebody. So what? Who the fuck's that? Genevieve Bolido? I sound like a pogue. Oh my God, who is this? Genevieve? Genevieve? What? Let me see. Let me find out what platform you're on. Let me find out what. There we go. I sound like a pogue. Oh wow. Okay. I'm gonna cruise your Facebook profile here. Okay. Anyways, I am a pogue. I was never infantry. But I'm just highlighting what everybody's seeing. You don't think this guy's authorized to carry his fucking weapon? You don't think this person should be allowed to have his Second Amendment rights? I'm just saying, and I said this before. Now, of course, you probably just drugged in this. I don't know if you listened to the whole show. Who are you gonna fucking shoot, dude? The cops? I'm a pogue. Woohoo! Man, I haven't been called that in a long time. Pogue, I have no really. I'm a pogue. I sound like a pogue, Gene? Are you a vet? How about that? Yeah, people that, hey, are you a vet? Just let me know. I mean, you come, imagine if I was, exactly that. Woo! Man, I'm a pogue. Well, actually, I was. I served. I was a pogue. There we go. I sound like a pogue. You don't know I am a pogue, right? I was never infantry, nor do I claim to be infantry, ever. You're a pogue. You sound like a pogue. When everybody can see your Facebook profile, sound like a pogue. Okay. Are you a vet? If you're a vet, then let me know. And I can ask you what you did. And are you there's a lot of people that, okay, are you a pogue? Or are you a strap hanger, gun buddy? What other names you could have on the same thing? Yeah, exactly that, Gary. I'm a pogue too. Shit. I've been a pogue, been retired for a minute. Yeah, exactly. You don't need permission to exercise the right if it's a privilege, not a right. I'm a proud civvy pogue, and I love all the grunts. This dude feels threatened from actions of federal agents as much as he's being done. It was the right under Obama administration. She was a 42 Alpha with a paper cut service medal. I don't understand why the pogue. What does that have to fucking do with it? Yes, I'm a pogue. Proud pogue that lives the alfalfa life. Not the alpha life, the alfalfa life. Almost 30 years of just being a pogue. Straight fucking pogue. Pogue that. You sound like a pogue. Did you write that in there? Was there somebody listening with you in that conversation for you to say, hey, tell that guy he sounds like a pogue? Okay, I'll say he's a pogue. And then... All right, I'll stop breaking balls on you. But again, you gonna fight the cops, dude? I get it. If you're protecting your, from any, because we don't know the full story. But then again, dude, it looks pretty fucking bad. Holding your weapon like that, saying that you're there to protect against who? Here to protect my neighborhood against the cops. They're just gonna tell you to put the gun down, anyways. Is that very pogue like to say that? Again, the guys that I walk in, it's almost like counterproductive. It's the cops are going in to do something and you're introducing a rifle to the situation. You're going to make it worse for you. If you're there to protect from all the, fucking rioters and everybody fucking protesting, hey, go for it. But if you're there to interfere with the cops and you're holding a weapon, the cops are going to tell you to put it down. Defending your community, I got it. But when you say, this is my neighborhood, I'm going to protect it. Again, I'm going to say against who? If you're going to go against the cops, you're not going to win. Are there... you guys are like... you guys are still in the Poe comment? All right, let's read the Poe comments here. I've been outside the wire. Even my infantry friends are like, carrying it like that is stupid. It draws unnecessary attention to yourself. Also, I bet Jeannie's a pogue. At best, she's probably has a pair of knee pads in her closet. Damn, Rebecca. Damn. Man, all women are just going off. She has a closet full of 9-line and grunt style tea. Hey, what's wrong with grunt style? The Grunt Style Foundation has been the biggest lead and advocates in the use of non-traditional medicine for PTSD. So we can break balls on them for a little bit. They're cool. Are the pogues in the same pogues in the room with us? Yeah. Pogue. Tell that guy it's a pogue again. So I'm just saying, who are you going to defend yourself with? But yeah, I mean, you're going to defend yourself against the cops. You're not going to defend yourself with against the cops. If they're gonna roll in, they're going to see you carry. They're going to say, put that shit down. Don't raise that barrel up. And if you think you're going to interfere, you're going to get shot. That's just reality. YouTube quiet chat. Yeah, let me see what's going on in the chats right here. I think it's because it's Monday, MLK Day. Nobody's working. Nobody's doing shit. Because people who don't listen are pogues, I guess. I don't know. Good Lord, have mercy. Anyways, I want to do some housekeeping right quick, man. Most people don't do shows on the holidays, I see that came in. I didn't want to bring it up. What if you're a veteran in the military where the entire military is just pogues, even though they say they're not? Oh, Lord have mercy. I think there needs the next meme tomorrow. Are you proud of your pogue? I'm a proud pogue. Proud pogue. I think there needs to be a system that allows people to be armed, include against the Fed, state, executive. It should be overreach. This doesn't require forceful disarming. See, that's the thing. I have seen situations where individuals are open carrying like that, and police officers will say, hey, we're conducting an operation here. We're doing this, blah, 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 blah. And, hey, just, make sure, don't do anything threatening. Well, I've seen it roll. And I also seen guys that get loud and get stupid, gets the fucking law enforcement agents a little fucking, rabbled up. And Space Force, a guy, they're aiming a laser at me right now. And well, people are like mad about my fucking 2 Alpha stuff. Hey, look, man, I'm just saying, if you're carrying your weapon and you're looking like that and you're in the middle of an operation that's happening and the cop's going to look at you, you're going to focus that guy. Then what? What happens when the guy what happens when a suspect starts running and runs towards you and you're carrying like that? What are you going to do? You going to tell the guy to run behind you? You're going to raise your weapon to the agents? And hey, Pogues live longer. Yeah, so anyways, go back to what I was saying. Yeah, I got no problem. I got no problem with open carry. I really don't. People in the holster, blah, blah, blah. But it just seems like, hey, if you're making comments like that, I'm here to protect my neighborhood and, going to protect anybody against, against what's going to happen when something happens, or what happens when operations kick off in said neighborhood and ICE agents start showing up. You gonna aim at them? You gonna raise your weapon? You gonna protect your neighborhood? I do support. I again, First, Second Amendment, go for it, dude. This is my neighborhood. I'm gonna protect them. And do what? Like what? So, anyways, good luck with that. Do you think? Ooh, hang on. Let me see. There's some good questions in here. Hang on. Whoa. Go, boy. Hang on. This is Rebecca. It's amazing how many vets out there left their brains behind somewhere. They forget basic shit that they were trained on, unless they just slept through it all, that training, and just want to say, I'm a vet. Well, that guy that protested the church? He actually said that. He said, I'm a fucking combat infantryman vet. Blue cord. Angie asks, do you think Dan Bongino can salvage his image now that he's back in a pot? I don't know. I mean, unless he's dropping like tea. If he's dropping tea about the administration or what's been going on in the FBI, I don't know. I do know that there was a lot of individuals that were blocked by him every time they would ask him a question while he was in the FBI. He served in that capacity. So I don't know. Holly says you can't run with kneecaps. Falcon says, thank her for her service. Musa says, hey, Ice, there was a song made for Pogues. It's called I'm a Fobbit. UK, I protected my family with a plastic fork and now in prison for possession of a dangerous weapon. A plastic fork, man. In California, if you protect yourself with a straw, you might get arrested. But anyways, let's see what's going on with them. Some housekeeping here. Let me grab some stuff. Maybe we could talk about the overtime being put in for the redact. Dude, that's what I'm saying. The answer is no for people are saying the answer is no for Bongino. I don't, like I said, I don't know. I don't in that capacity. And in his like I said, I've seen him on social media interact. Let me go back here to the camera. I've seen him interact on social media with social media platform, and I've seen him go ape shit on some. I have seen him block a lot of people due to the fact that he has had interactions because people ask questions. Hey, what's going to happen with this? I will say this: we still don't have fucking Epstein. I ain't seen Epstein shit. And every time it's brought up, it's on somebody's desk. That's why I said about the church protests. We're not seeing anything that's happening with the perp walks of the individuals that busted in the church and protested. And then again, what's going to happen with Donald Lemon. So, but all that, again, I don't want to say I wasn't really a fan but you got to kind of like watch somebody. I watched what he said, and all that stuff, but yeah. Ooh, Blue Falcon says he didn't kill himself. You're talking about Epstein, right? You're talking about Epstein? Epstein didn't kill himself? Epstein did not kill himself. I got blocked before you all. Exactly that, Angie. I am really surprised no one has been arrested after all that either. But like I said, now that he's back in podcasting, maybe he'll have an episode where he talks with someone who's might drop a dime. You never know. You never know. So with that, it's housekeeping. Rebecca says, I don't see anything wrong with Bongino. I do have issues with Dan Crenshaw, though. Bongino was dealing with an active investigation. You can't disclose every detail. Good point. People will get mad over basic protocols. Another good point. Just like the Second Amendment stuff, only certain people, it seems like people only own it comes. I'm going to go back to the Second Amendment. It seems like people only agree that only certain people should be carrying when it should be for everybody. People get mad over basic protocols, but then get mad when investigations are carried out improperly. You can't win. Exactly that. Very good point, Rebecca. Very good point. This is the Monday edition on this MLK holiday. People were taking the day off from their podcasting, but I could do this. Tomorrow, Michael Cataskio, also known as CQ, the Pop Culture Warrior, with his mad staff of Angry Elf and Mad Mike. On Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Sports Bar with the actual King Smith and the coach. What do you say? And then the Smoke Pit with Radar TZ. Sergeant's Time with myself and Spanky. Friday night tabletop exercises, or also known as FTX. This week's the bye week, and then weekend co-ops every Saturday with Nemo. If you guys tuned in today, you had the King and Me with the actual King Smith and his wife Michelle, and there we go. Back here to the Monday edition, the Montag edition. You guys got anything else for me? You guys got any more shit talking? You guys have been pretty quiet. I thought most of my stuff would be rabble rousing pretty good, but I guess it didn't. I was hoping to get more drama, aside from the fact that I was being called a pogue by somebody in the Canadian military. That's kind of funny. Anywho, let me see. Sergeant's Time's coming up. Yep. We're gonna be talking about the new Sergeant Time. Yep. Did you guys? Yes. Okay. I brought this up. Somebody brought it up to the team in the team chat. The emergency service responded to an explosion of GTA 6 developer Rockstar North offices in Rockstar in Edinburgh. I don't want to fuck it up for my UK. And I was just made a comment that we got GTA 6 before GTA 6. We got a lot of shit happening before GTA 6. Broadcasting live, 5 different platforms, 2 YouTube pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, 2 Facebook pages at U.S. Army WTF Moments and WTF Nation Radio, and on X, where everyone's got your shit take. I'm going to tell you what, get yourself an X account. You will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed, except for the payouts. I know the payouts has been some fucking drama lately, that if you have so many impressions and have so many verified followers, you'll get paid for your shit posting. They keep changing that as well. So I didn't get paid. What was it? The last pay period. This pay period, I got paid under their new stuff because the way they're changing their algorithms and they're changing stuff. But anyways, if you want unadulterated shit posting and you just want, some of the most craziest shit that I've seen posted on X is insane. Bongino definitely lied, but his hands were tied. It looks like he wanted to spill. Not an active investigation because the guy was killed. What are you talking about? Whoa. What are we talking about? Angie to Rebecca, if in the next 3 years go by and no one's brought to justice, that would be a change your mind about Bongino and the administration's handling of the investigation. I'm glad you brought that up because this the way Pam Bondi's not really. We've been in a year. Have we seen anybody thrown in jail? Have we seen any perp walks? Have we seen any briefings? PIQ says it's not far from me. Keith says, I lost any respect when he booked Jordan Belfort for a youth leadership thing. It's pronounced Edinburgh. Okay, thank you. Thanks, White Shadow. I'm glad you love my pogue ass. I appreciate your comment. I just have an X account for the spicy videos. Yeah, exactly. So, yes, I do. I'm see, even me, somebody loves my ass out in YouTube land. It is appreciated. My pogue ass. Anyways, y'all have a good night. See ya. Shouts.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Reigns. Officers orders driving us insane. ATF 0-30, no time to complain. Push up in the mud, feel the muscle strain. Army life is a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Hilltops in the desert, sandstorms in our eyes. Memories of breakfast, no room for lies. Blood marches through the night under starless skies. Brothers and sisters we rise. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Drill sergeant fury echoing in the air. Discipline and duty we all must bear. Battle bodies by our side in the fight we share. In the face of danger we dare. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Zones and firefights, adrenaline's rush. Silent nights, broken by the enemy's hush. Medics on the move in the heat of the crush. In the heart of battle we trust. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find out our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle. Army life, it's a wild ride. WTF moments can't hide. Through the fire we survive. In the ranks we thrive. Memories in our mind. Brothers lost but never left behind. Army WTF moments in the stories we find. In the Army's embrace, we're forever entwined. It's WTF moments in the Army's grind. Through the blood and sweat we find our kind. In the chaos and the fire we stand aligned. Warriors forged in the battle's bind. Through the smoke and the flames we rise again. In the heart of the storm we find our zen. Battle buddies by our side, our men. In the Army's legacy we transcend.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Я батько. Я молодший брат. Я водій маршрутки. Я скоро одружуся. Я фанат-шахтер.
Начальник отдела продаж.
Я прораб.
Я программист. Я свидетель на свадьбе.
Дядя Юра, таксист. Я вчитель фізкультури.
Я студент-геолог.
У мене своя фірма.
Я кращий друг зі школи. Я сусід, який завжди стукає по батареї.
Я єдиний син.